Bernadette. Happy birthday to you. Hey!
I assume you don't want us to count. 1, 2, 3.
One go. 1, 2, 3.
Speech!
Oh, a speech.
Laura just asked me now, Bern, have you thought about the speech? I said, oh yeah, I've written down a couple of things.
Oh!
You all better sit down, I think. You need to sit down. Sit down again.
No, very short.
Hey, Locke, I think it's going to be a novel, not the page.
Lockie always makes a point of singing. He's probably the best singer in the room, but he makes a point of singing Happy Birthday out of tune, just to stir us all up. He does it at every birthday.
That's great.
But thank you for coming and helping me celebrate this occasion.
Auspicious. Significant.
It was very hard to choose outside of family who was to come, so you can see those chosen are very, very special.
We're the chosen ones.
We're the chosen
How blessed we are.
So I suppose I thought my first thank you goes to my mum and dad who brought me into this world 70 years ago. And when I said on Thursday, I said to a girl there, she's gorgeous, she's had a tough life. I said to Anne, I'm 70. She said, aren't you lucky that you've lived to 70?
Yes.
So I thought it was a really nice way of saying that the glass is half full rather than half empty. So to get to 70, and then I thought of all the bushfires and people who died and, you know, all that sadness and people have lost their lives. So, yeah, so then I went on and wrote here, I was actually a very unwanted child. I had 2 siblings close. When Mum found out she was expecting, and of course they were using the rhythm method in those days.
I think we do need to sit down.
And so my brother Kieran is only about 13 months older than me, so they were very, very close. And Mum, the longer Mum is gone. She'll be 7 years this year. She happened to turn 100 when our lovely friend Des turned 70. So that's why we went away and made that a special occasion for both Des and my mum. So Mum, I think she was an amazing woman who had a pretty tough life, but always had her head up, and you know, she lived to 95. So I'm very, very grateful to my mum, who was my inspiration, I guess, in knowing that, you know, life is about loving others, working hard, always giving. So Mum was a real giver, as these 3 little grandchildren, as she absolutely adored, and who I do as well. Yeah, so then, so I've had 70 interesting years. Childhood on a dairy farm, then I went to boarding school for a year, and then teachers college, and my first teaching appointment was at St Peter's in East Bentley in 1971, where I taught there for 4 years, and during that year I was married in 1974, and then 75 I taught at St Tim's. 76 I went back to teachers college to do some more training. That's where I met up with Cheryl again.
No, we met at St Peter's.
I know, but at St Peter's East Bentley I met up with Cheryl, and we had some fun times together. Yeah, so then I went on and taught in many different schools, and that's been a real blessing for me, teaching in so many schools and meeting so many people. I've had 7 different principals, and they've all been different, and they've all been really, really good to me, and given me the opportunity to grow myself personally and professionally. But one is here today, very special person, Fran Hargrave. She and I, we came in at the same time in 1977, and we went out, and I went to Fran. I said, I'm being called to do something different. I said, I love teaching, but something is calling me away. And so I lived, Michael got a year's leave from Telstra, and he stuck by me. Where is he?
Here.
Yeah.
Stuck by me. So we went and lived in a crazy community, of Germans, and a group of lay people. It was like the mini church. It was tough. You know, people used to say going over, as Fran did, 20 years of missionary work in Papua New Guinea, did a wonderful, wonderful job. But she said this is just as hard, living with different cultures and trying to get on with each other. So there's two things in my life that are really significant, I guess, personally, is living there and last year's going to Jerusalem to study there with Michael. So that was
Pilotti.
That was Pilotti College, yes. So I've been blessed to have had good health and to be able to work. I went to school the other day and I said, how lucky am I to be able to go to school, and you know, meet another group of little people that are coming through, and I look at them and I think, what's life in store for you? They don't know, they just live in the moment. I do a lot of mindfulness meditation now, and you're trying to keep your mind on the now, but little ones just completely focus on the now, and they're just wonderful little inspirational people to be with each day. So I feel very blessed that they still have me there, really, because I'm getting old.
Yeah, there's plenty of good years in the old building.
But I guess looking at the room, the longest association I've had in this room is with my beautiful sister, Amelia, who's 8 years younger than me. She was born in 1958. I was born in 1950, and she was a very, very wanted little girl, little baby. I know, but we absolutely...
A bit of a gap. I was called a sort of surprise.
Yeah, she was a bit of a surprise. Mum we just loved having Mel. Yes. And then after that, I think next in line would have been Cheryl. You would have been next, as that's when I met you at Teachers College.
What about Monica?
Oh, Monica, yes, Monica. Yeah, Monica and Michael then came. Monica and Michael, yes.
Michael, that was before you.
And so
Michael was the boarder.
Yeah, he was.
So he was
the border.
Yeah,
he was the lodger.
Roger the lodger.
Yeah, in those days. So Michael came into my life, and still is my love, and I thank you very much for supporting me, boss.
Yeah, the boss.
Boss. Where's the boss?
They're both boss.
Boss has had a pretty good life, I think, with me.
Hey, Lucy, we've got that far.
And then
Bit of a long bow there, Lucy.
and then Mark has been a wonderful brother-in-law and a great support to myself and to Michael and Mel, and then of course came their absolutely beautiful children who I just adore. And Laura came, I just couldn't believe when I saw Mel feeding her in the hospital. I thought,
little blue one.
and then she had Lucy, and then she didn't think she'd have any more, and she said to me, oh, I'm pregnant again. I was so happy. She said, I thought you'd be cross. I said, no. And then her beautiful boy came along. The worst thing about that, I was supposed to be there to see the scene. I couldn't have any of my own. I was going to see him born, but no, he came within a half an hour of his dad going to get the TV out, and Mel had delivered him. So it's a lovely story. And then Gail came into my life, and Chris through our parish. So we're very blessed.
That was actually before these three.
Yes, funny about that.
So Gail, I haven't really rehearsed it or I haven't thought it through, but Gail and Chris came into our lives many
Gemma
years
and
ago.
Lucy are the same.
Yeah, and then Gemma, our beautiful little goddaughter, came along. She was the cleanest child ever at St Joseph's in Verona. She was beautiful. We'd often go back to their place after Saturday night mass to have a pizza, or Gail would have cooked up something and have a drink. So they were lovely, lovely years.
What was the name of the street again? You all lived in the same street, didn't you?
No, we didn't.
No, you were.
Michael lived in
Oh.
we lived in Dinsdale.
Yeah, and they
Oh,
lived in
nearby.
Dinsdale. They lived
around
in
the
Dinsdale, right?
Around the corner.
Yeah, and of course, I can't believe that Gary then met up and took Monica, and Monica
Took me.
Yeah, it took you. By surprise.
took her into married life, which I don't think you had great plans to be married, did you? No.
Took a while. Took a while.
In your own quiet ways.
Yeah, she had. And she had her beautiful Christopher, who we absolutely love, who's now married and been overseas. So Christopher is a quiet achiever. We're very, very proud of what Christopher has achieved, and we call him Fred. Because we had a little trip to Tasmania when Fred was in the womb, and we were on this boat over to Tassie, obviously, and Fred was in. She'd say, "How are you going, Fred? How are you going, Fred?" We were on the waves, and so that was a fun time. That was one Anzac weekend. You probably know the date, do you? Do you know what it was? Yeah. So then into my life came, I'd say the McIntyres. These beautiful kids here, of which there are 6. Mum and Dad. So I started teaching this little one. She was a little preppy. And a cutie. I remember when she was the little mermaid on the stage, under the sea. Yes, that was fun. That's it. And then I went on to teach Gus, and I taught Charlie, the next girl, and then I taught Monty, and then I escaped the beautiful, but she used to tease me something unbelievable. I had a fit ball in my room, and she said, "Oh, the ball's falling," and then she'd get it down and muck around, and they gave me a hard time, those year 5s and 6s. But anyway, I love both of you, beautiful kids, lovely, and I love all the others too, Mum and Dad. And then Teresa. Now, beautiful Teresa is the one that does my hair, and I've never known anyone who can cut hair and talk at the same time. And come out looking like this. Teresa and I, we have a few things in common, don't we, Teresa? We won't talk about them here. But she's a beautiful person, very generous and kind to everybody. So it's lovely having you as a friend, and you're more than a hairdresser, you're my beautiful friend.
2 years now, I think, Bern.
I know. Is it that long?
I can't believe it's
So, yeah.
It's a few.
It is. So I've got, so thank you everybody for coming and making this a special time for me. And I hope that I'll be here in 10 years.
I'll be 40.
No, the next 70.
And our 80th, I think our next 80th would be Fran. Would be about 3 years away.
No, next year.
Oh, is it?
Wow! That's a round birthday.
No, I'm saying we'll come back for yours and your age.
And I've got something I've got to read. Fran has written for me. Fran wants to retire so that she can do 2 things. Outlandish things. She's still working her butt off. Excuse the French. She said, I'd love to retire and read a book
Or go to the movies.
movies.
Oh, just for a change?
Just for a change. I'm looking forward to that. Okay. Today, dear Lord, I'm 70. Now, Fran's written this. And there's much I haven't done. I hope, dear Lord, you'll let me live until I'm 71. But then, if I haven't finished all I want to do, would you let me stay a while until I'm 72? So many places I want to go, so much to see. Do you think that I could manage to make it to 73? The world is changing very fast. There is so much in store. I'd like it very much to live until I'm 74. But if by then I'm still alive, I'd like to stay till 75. More planes will be up in the air, so I'd really like to stick around and see what happens to the world when I'm 76. I know, dear Lord, it's much to ask, and it must be nice in heaven, but I would really like to stay until I'm 77. I know by then I won't be very fast, and sometimes we'll be late.
Ah.
Really?
That would be right.
But it would be so pleasant to be around at 78. I will have seen so many things and had a wonderful time. So I'm sure that I'll be willing to live at 79. Maybe. Yeah, oh, thank you, Fran.
Oh, lovely.
Not my original.
Oh, isn't it?
No.
What's the original?
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Just to reiterate one person that's boss. Come over here, boss.
That's my call.
She's the boss.
Oh, who are you, fella?
He was very quiet and retiring when I met him, but he sort of come out of his shell.
especially with Cheryl when they both got laugh together. We can't stop them then.
Don't start, you two. No, Bob, good old boss, we've had our moments, haven't we, mate?
Good
Oh,
moment.
yeah, when you say, what's wrong with you? And I'd say, oh, nothing. And
Nothing.
you go, oh, okay.
Usual response. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing.
Yes,
Yeah.
nothing.
And the other thing I've learned, never talk to a man when he's had too much red wine.
Oh,
They get very stroppy.
oh.
Yeah. Oh yes, yes we do. Yes. So, but
Put
we've
words
had
in your
we've had
mouth,
lovely
Michael.
times together. We've been Michael's very, very faceted as far as work is concerned. I do the outside work, he does a lot of inside work. He'll cook, I'll cook, he'll clean, I'll clean. He washes, I washes, he irons, I iron. So there's no delineation here of jobs. So that's
No demarcation.
no
just
demarcation at all.
Gee.
What else are you good at? He's not good at talking.
No.
Good at listening.
Get
He's
on
very
with
good.
it.
He's very good at listening. He's very close to my sister, and they often talk about me. Oh yes. Oh, I'm stressed out. And blah 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 blah. We've had in the last 2 years, we've had some lovely trips together, for which I'm very grateful. And we've now I actually went from Collingwood to North Melbourne for Michael.
Defected.
In 1998, I defected to North Melbourne because I'm one for the underdog, and Collingwood had everything and North had nothing.
Yeah, you had Eddie.
Yeah, you had Eddie. Yeah, you had Eddie. Yeah, I know. What else have we done together?
I don't know.
We share
Apollo
our
Bay.
Apollo Bay. We've had lovely times at Apollo Bay. We share our faith, which is a lovely thing. So we pray together, and we share our value system is the same. And I think that's really important for a relationship, that we share the same values of compassion, honesty, and our spiritual life is quite connected on that level. So that's lovely. So I appreciate that. I think. Is that all you're
That's
good
good.
at?
Let's cut the
And he
cake.
started to cook.
Oh, hang on. Do that again.
Thank you.
Let's get a happy snap of that.
What do you call Michael? Cut the cake?